Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda Marsalis. Welcome to Heard It on the Shark. I'll be your show host, and Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area is your show sponsor. Heard It on the Shark is a weekly interview show that airs every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Shark 102.3 FM radio station based in Ripley, Mississippi. Then it's released as a podcast on all the major podcast platforms. You'll hear interviews with the movers and shakers in North Mississippi who are making things happen. I'll talk to entrepreneurs, leaders of business, medicine, education, and the people behind all the amazing things happening in North Mississippi. When people ask you, how did you know about that? You'll say, I heard it on the Shark. Heard It on the Shark is brought to you by the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area. We want you to get out and discover the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of the Mississippi Hills that are right in your backyard. And of course, we want you to take the Shark 102.3 FM along for the ride. Musical credit belongs to Hill Country Blues guitar legend Gary Burnside and the late great Buddy Grisham, playing Long Way Home from their album Acoustic Brothers, which was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda with another episode of Heard It on the Shark. And today in Sun Bear Studio, I have LaShawn McKenzie, who is also a Ripley native, just like I am. And she is going to talk about her business called Heat and Wellness Spa that she has on Highway 15. LaShawn, thanks for coming over.
Thanks for having me.
LaShawn, you have a business on Highway 15 called Heat and Wellness Spa. How long has that business been open?
A year and a half.
It's hard being a business owner, so what made you want to do that?
Well, there's so many different reasons, but one of my main reasons, besides my own health and my son's health, is because there are so many people that's struggling with pain, inflammation, disbalance, mental. I mean, there's so many different things that we're battling with that I can help.
I like to tease about being over 50 and all the pain that comes with that. But really, there's a lot of people in their 30s and 20s that are dealing with pain management. So this is for everybody.
Right. Matter of fact, I had, I think she's 10 last week, and I'm trained to look at people's bodies. And her body was just so tight. She's also been in a car accident recently, but her body was just so tight and restricted. And I was doing a brain treatment for concussion, but like I said, looking at her body, I'm like, no, mama, let me try presso on her. And instantly of putting her in that presso, she just took a deep breath. And she was like, this is what I needed.
Okay.
And
so you have a lot of services that people can look into, and we're going to talk about one that's easy, and that is the body wrap.
Yes, Fit Body Wrap.
Fit Body Wrap. Okay, tell me about that.
It serves many purposes and benefits, but it also helps to control pain management, helps with skin rejuvenation, helps people to calm, just be more relaxed, because when your muscles become uneased, they have you pretty much like, I call like ADHD. You just can't relax. It affects your sleep at night. It affects your overall function throughout the day. So, and you come in, you lay in this wrap for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, or whatever you choose, and you do it consistently, and your body just begins to feel more lighter and just relaxed and capable of achieving the day.
All right, so let's just imagine that I've called you up and I've made an appointment with you, and I show up at your business, and what should you wear for that?
A swimsuit.
Okay, bring a swimsuit with you to wear. Okay.
Or if men's could wear like a sleeveless shirt and basketball shorts.
Okay, you're going to sweat.
And if you're good and hydrated, as you should be, you'll definitely pour. So I would definitely say bring changing clothes.
Okay.
Like under clothes.
Okay.
You'll drench them.
Okay, so like come in your regular clothes, maybe throw on a bathing suit when you get there. Should you bring your own towel or anything?
I provide towels.
Okay, got a towel. Okay, so now, is it like a blanket that you wrap up in?
It is kind of. It can be like that.
Okay, describe it for me.
It can be like a blanket, but you go into a sweat bag after you get the lotions and the spray on you, and then I lay you in a like you said, like a blanket or like a bag Cancun.
Okay, so you're wrapped up in this blanket, and is it hot then, and it causes you to sweat?
The first 10 to 15 minutes is very mild, and it make you think, oh, this is not bad. But after that 15 minutes, you be like, oh, this is pretty hot. And at that point, that's when we start either reducing heat or upgrading the heat.
Okay, and so you've now, do you notice that if people come to you multiple times, they sweat less, their body changes as they get used to the treatment?
It's like yeah or no. I mean, because like I said, some come already hydrated, and it just makes the transaction more smoother versus people that's not as hydrated. So I think it makes a world of difference being hydrated versus dehydrated.
Okay, so come in having had a lot of water to drink.
Because that's what's going to produce the sweat.
All right, now, so you told me just now 30 minutes or so is about average for what people stay in there.
But the longer is the better the benefits.
Okay. If you can take it for an hour, do it for an hour?
Yes.
Okay. And so you just said better benefits. Tell us some of the benefits, maybe a success story that you've had. Let's do benefits first.
The benefits. I had a particular customer that couldn't bend, and up on her first session, which was 45 minutes to an hour, when she got out, she was able to bend.
Oh, wow.
And she couldn't bend and also couldn't tie her shoe. But when she left, she could tie her shoe, she could bend, and she could touch the ground. And that was one of my first success stories. And she came for 2 to 3 months, and she's still doing well.
Now, what's typical? Do people come maybe once a month or once a week or what?
I would recommend once a week.
I mean, is it one of those things that you need to do forever? Like, do I need to do this once a month for forever?
Because you got to think about it. You're using your body every day, right? You cannot use your body every day and expect it to always perform at its best, because it's going to get tired. It's just scientific and it's facts. If you use your body every single day, consistent work, repetitive work, eventually it's going to go from being capable to incapable. And it makes perfect sense. You're using it. When you use something, it gets wear and tear. That's the same method with your body. You got to in order to keep it functionable, you got to take care of it. Just like you go into the gym. People think, I don't say this to downgrade gyms because gyms are perfect. But after using those muscles so long, what do?
Yeah, they're tired.
Exactly.
They hurt.
And that's where we come in at. We can help you recover, and we can do it faster than the traditional method.
Yeah, sweat all those toxins out. Okay. Now, all right, so I bet there's a lot of people listening who are interested in trying this out. Am I too old for this?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No age limit.
No age limit. All right. It's not dangerous. I'm not going to pass out or anything.
No, ma'am. It's holistic. It's natural. I mean, it's safe. And it's like you think about people in a nursing home. It could be because they had a stroke. It could be because of an accident. And all that information stayed in their body instead of coming out of their body. So by doing a lot of our treatments, I feel like that it can possibly help them to regain their strength where they don't necessarily have to be dependent on the nursing home or family members. They can still have their independency. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And that's what it's all about. And a year and a half ago, I had an ideal, but it's not the same perception as I had when I came into the business. It's very beneficial. It's very safe. You don't have to worry about what ifs because it's safe. Now, I might have to worry. Now, if you had surgeries, have devices with metal, I have to be cautious with that. But if you just got a normal body without all the surgeries, like the devices, like the heart makers and all that, then we don't have much to worry about.
Okay.
Besides just getting that information under control and the pains.
Okay, so if you're interested in finding out more about the Heat and Wellness Spa, then you can call LaShawn. Tell the phone number to call.
662-502-2907.
Now, I say call because I'm old. They can text you too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they could text you and say, hey, I want to set up an appointment, and you'd get back in touch with them and start that
process.
exchange. And if they have questions, is it okay to just ask a few questions before you decide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so for everybody that's listening that is familiar with Ripley, you're kind of across the Highway 15 from Ripley's Market.
Yes, ma'am.
So it shouldn't be too hard to find.
No, ma'am.
It really is by appointment only. You're not, at this moment, you are not in there in certain set hours. You have appointments.
Correct.
Okay, so they need. And so tell me one more time the phone number.
662-502-2907.
Okay, LaShawn, thanks so much for coming by and talking to us. I've talked to you several times about this, and I know you're passionate about helping people and believe in what you're doing. So I'm really glad that you're here in Ripley.
And I am, too. I'm enthused to find out who I help along the way, along the journey.
Yeah, it's exciting. Okay, Shark fans, that's it for this edition of Heard It on the Shark. You can tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. to find out what's going on with our local community leaders. If you have a question, a comment, or a suggestion for an interview, or if you want access to this interview, you'll head over to shark1023.com and click on the podcast tab. Keep it tuned to the Shark 1023 and have a great rest of the day.
The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area was established by the United States Congress in 2009 and represents a distinctive cultural landscape shaped by the dynamic intersection of Appalachian and Delta cultures. This intersection has produced a powerful concentration of nationally significant cultural icons, including King of Rock and Roll Elvis Presley, First Lady of Country Music Tammy Wynette, blues legend Howlin' Wolf, civil rights icons Ida B. Wells Barnett and James Meredith, America's favorite playwright Tennessee Williams, and Nobel laureate William Faulkner. The stories of the Mississippi Hills are many and powerful, from music and literature to Native American and African American heritage to the Civil War. The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area supports the local institutions that preserve and share Northeast Mississippi's rich heritage. Begin your discovery of the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of our region by visiting the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area online at mississipphills.org.
This show is made possible by JC Media, LLC in Ripley, Mississippi. JC Media owns the Shark 102.3 Classic Rock FM radio station where the show is hosted, and Sun Bear Recording Studio where the interviews are recorded. We need your feedback and support. If you listen to the podcast on a player like iTunes, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music, please subscribe to the show and leave us a review. We also have an email in which you can share your feedback. That email is theshark1023@gmail.com. Subscribe to our podcast on your favorite app or stream episodes online at shark1023.com/podcasts. Today's episode was produced by Melinda Marsalis. It was edited by Rick Williams and engineered by Chris Marsalis. The podcast technician is Joyce Grady.